Good morning, and thank you for joining us in our commitment to be together in spiritual practice for the whole year. And my goodness, it's almost the end of March. So some of you have been here every morning since before the beginning of the year, and I thank you for that. The nice thing about it is if you do miss a morning, uh, we leave the recording up so you can tune in whenever it's convenient for you to do so. We're using 365 Science of Mind, a year of daily wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And today, on March 30th, the topic is living without fear. One of the techniques I use for contemplating a piece of writing is to ask myself, what simple thought can I take from this and carry it around with me today? The other technique I use is to see if I can say the same ideas that were written in the 20s and 30s and 40s. Can I say them more simply in language that I use ordinarily in life situations today, so it feels more alive and real for me? And I encourage you to do the same thing with the reading. Today is living without fear. Fear can rob memory of happiness when it dwells upon the limitations of the past. It can rob the future of pleasure when it casts a shadow of its past onto the future. It can rob today of that sense of possibility because it denies the good that we might experience in the current moment that we're living in. We ought to adopt the attitude of a child, abandoning ourselves into the exploration of the miracle of life, of this universe. Just like the warmth of the sun can melt an iceberg, there is something in us that is operating through us that can dissolve any difficulty and remove obstructions, renew human relationship, anything. So we ought to consciously practice thinking about this presence within us, and that's what we're doing every day. And the process of developing confidence in this presence within is as simple as affirming our conviction over and over and over. And it must be regular, persistent. That's the meaning of practice. It must be regular, and so regular that old patterns of thought melt away and give way to new patterns of thought. So today, I cultivate the art of having confidence in the presence that is within me. So taking a deeper breath in, letting my shoulders relax and my face be still. Letting these thoughts simmer. I recognize that there is a presence within me, one that is unlimited in its reach and its being, its presence. This power within me is what creates. It is the creator of all that is, from itself, through itself, by means of its own creation. being everywhere present. I understand it as the fiber that joins all life into one great unity. I call it inclusive and welcoming and my source. I realize my unity with it is not something that I created, but something that I understand now and sense. I sense the power of this presence flowing through me. And it flows through me as the inclination to love generously. It flows through me as the ability to identify my oneness with all of life. This awareness in me is like a bright sun shining, melting away that coldness of an iceberg we just read about. And as my awareness of it brightens too, I begin to accept in me a greater possibility for my life. I let facts be facts and people be people and things be things and circumstances be circumstances. And I have a simple confidence in the brightness of this realization within me. Confidence in it being able to create and direct, to guide me to live my life. So I affirm that I am and always have been a presence of the love of the divine in action in the world. I'm a conduit for its peace. Its generosity flows through me as my generosity. And so I let myself be generous today in my thinking, in my attention, in my actions. I make generous assumptions about people. I clear my mind of ideas of separation as best as I can, always embracing my whole experience. In this way, I enter into a state of open-minded, clear vision and great acceptance. I rejoice in this awareness. I give thanks for this time of contemplation and inspiration. I celebrate the shifts in my experience of life even before they happen. And I open my heart today to those who are near and dear to me, naming them silently in my mind, including the people of Europe, and stating that the good I claim and understand for myself, I do for them also. With a grateful heart, I accept that which has been prayed, and I let it be. And so it is. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if you would like a personal, customized, affirmative prayer for you, for yourself, or for something that's happening in your life that you would love some support on, contact the World Ministry of Prayer. Do it today. It's one of the best gifts a person can give to themselves. The link is in the description of this broadcast. Trained prayer practitioners are waiting for you. There is something so wonderful that happens from the moment a person decides to contact the World Ministry of Prayer and request that personal prayer. Something starts to move. You know, it's miraculous. It's beautiful. So make those phones ring off the hook and use up our volunteer prayer practitioners. They're waiting for you. And thank you to the dozens of people who share this broadcast. It helps us spread the web of connection and inspiration. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a blessed day.